Most introverts struggle in relationships because they always avoid small talks. So their partners sometimes feel ignored. And I tell you that as an introvert, one of your greatest superpowers is your ability to have small talks. So in this video, I'll basically go into like a couple of tips on how you should be able to engage small talks. Your first tip is you need to have your mindset shift right. That small talks are not a waste of time. One, see this way that small talks are actually a genuine way to go into deeper connections. Because think about it. Think of your best human relationships, your best connections. They did not come from deep conversations. They started with shallow conversations, and from there they segued into what? Deep conversations. I remember recently I met some guy at the gym like last week, and we segued from fitness, right? Fitness to health, to fighting martial arts, to taking our health serious, to self-improvement, to masculinity space, to sims. Just because of what a very small talk. And trust me, this guy is somebody who I've been seeing around at the gym, and just because I had like a very small conversation, he was lifting like what, midweight, and my compliment was, which is the second tip. My opener was, you look too big to be lifting this weight. And where from how lifting weight will make you fit, lifting super heavy won't make you fit, it just make you have ego and bigger muscles, but will make you fit. And we digressed, we went into different topics, and I felt like that itself, we had a lot of deep conversations there. Trust me, it was really, really good. That is how you start. We use small conversations first. So small conversations is a way of fishing for deeper interest, for deeper connections, for deeper conversations. So if you have had your mindset shift, your second thing now is, you need to understand that your first 10 seconds is very, very important when you're talking to people. Your first impression matters, right? And I'll tell you that, as an introvert, you have only one option, which is just start. Don't watch this video and say, okay, you know what, I will start next week. Start as soon as possible. I have an idea that how you start your first conversation is super important. So what do? Be very careful when you start. Be very carefree when you start. Be very observant. Look for what you can use to genuinely compliment people. You see that my line opener, you look too big to be lifting this weight. And before you know it, he told me how he's a boxer, and me, I'm into MMA and boxing. And we hit it off from there. Firstly, our workout sessions were a waste of time because we worked out, but we spent more of our time having conversations, and that was very deep and meaningful. I really felt like I should have recorded the conversations, because I vlog almost everything I do every day, but I just recorded a very, very few parts. Well, I guess what? Just because of a very good one-line opener, and that's because I was observant. So what that means is that sometimes you don't have to give compliments that are too cheesy, because if you learn this art of giving compliments, right, you get to realize that every little thing that you can compliment tells a story behind. This guy's story was that the reason he's big is because he used to believe lifting heavy was what will give him an edge in life. But guess what? He told me that he realized that lifting heavy was a waste of time when it comes to fitness. And that completely blew my mind, because why? I just gave a genuine compliment and he gave me his story. And so one thing you also realize is when you're talking to people, right, you need to learn the art of asking good questions, right? Maybe asking general questions first, because it's going to help to disarm people. And this particular idea will help you in sales, if you're into sales as an introvert, right? Because you need to build rapport with people. And you don't build rapport with people with deep conversations first. You build rapport with small conversations that lead into deeper conversations. Because why? Those will bring up the most intimate and best topics. So when you're observant, you see what people are doing and say, okay, fine. Alright, what can I compliment here? And if that shows that if you give very good compliments, it shows how observant you are. And I always tell people that compliments, if you give the right compliments, right? If you don't observe people and you learn this art of giving people compliments, you get to realize that every compliment you give, right, tells a story about the person that is deep. So what that means is, why is this person doing what they are doing? And the answer might shock you, might be interesting, might be a way of following up on other questions. Because being able to follow up after asking a question, getting your answer, right, is itself a superpower. Now your third tip here is, because remember you're an introvert. You should use the cheat code and place your strength as an introvert. What's the cheat code and what's the strength here? It's simple. Is because you're an introvert, you don't talk too much. So guess what? You have the ability to listen more. And I always tell people that one hack for an introvert in conversations is the fact that they find it easier to listen. Because if you listen, right, and you're following up on what you heard before, it shows that this person will begin to feel like they are very, very important. These people will begin to respect you because you are paying proper attention to what they are doing and what they are saying. They begin to feel important, and that itself is a hack for conversations. Whether you're talking to a man or a woman, make them feel like they have been heard, that you get their story, and you're making them talk about their story, because people are always stuck in their head. So the more you can make them express how they feel or how they think about themselves, the better for you. And stronger still, right, if you let this out of actively listening, right, you can give them solutions to their problem, not like you are a consultant, but make them see perspectives that as in themselves, about themselves, that they never saw before. And this is where it becomes easier for you to build that connection, right? To probably find what you can find a deeper conversation on, or a deeper conversation with. Now, a fourth tip here is the fact that when you're having a conversation, one of your greatest hacks, right, as an introvert, is that you really don't want to be there. Hold on, stay with me. But now, what is also important is what is called an exit strategy. When you're talking to people, right, conversations go like this, but there's a point where things click in the conversation with somebody or a stranger, where you should know that if you kill the conversation there, guess what? It's a starting point for a conversation later. And this is why I tell guys that it's very interesting when you walk up to a girl, you spark a little conversation, right? So if you take her number, you know what to start with. And she will instantly know that, okay, this is the guy I was talking to a couple of days ago. Because why? You felt like you hit a very sweet spot. So I always tell guys to leave a conversation at its peak, where things are getting very interesting, end it there, and you use it as a segue into your next conversation. Because whether I like it or not, you're going to be you will linger in the person's mind for long, because they would want to talk about themselves more. But because you found the art of small talks, you got to realize that it's always good to save small talks and deep talks for later, right? So always be open to having small talks. And all other things you realize as an introvert is using the power of silence. If somebody asks you a question, you could take a pause first and be like, okay, and give an answer. Because anytime you pause while you're talking, it makes the person's attention come back to the conversation. 1, 2, it makes the person listen deeply to what it is you're saying or what it is you're doing. That's why I made a video called The Power of the Pause. So when you're talking and you just observe a little pause, it makes you head more. 1, 2, it makes the person feel that I need to hear what the person is about to say. And I can always say that is a different conversation, but trust me, anytime you have those silent pauses, embrace them like mad. Use it to your advantage very, very well. Don't let it be something that you avoid, because it's not going to help you. So guys, that's it. One thing you guys should realize is, as an introvert, you should really, really enjoy the power of small talks, because they would basically help you all through life. And like I said, small talks are a pathway towards having deep and meaningful connections first. Always see it as you are fishing for points, right? Where you can begin to have deeper conversations. So if you made it this far, it's obvious that you're somebody who takes yourself very, very serious. So you might share this video with somebody else who you feel like is an introvert, but he avoids small talk, but yet he still suffers in his relationships because he avoids small talk. And one thing is, I don't want you watching this video and treating it as a random self-improvement video, because I was once an introvert and I became a better person by not being introverted. So thank you very much for staying this long. It's obvious you take yourself serious. Share it with that introvert, and let's see how we can get more guys talking out there. Talk to you soon, and bye for now.